Yogi Yogi. Oi, oi, oi! Richkingreto here. Back from replay, or Playexpo, whatever they want to call it now. I've basically been recovering for the last 2 days. I've been like sneezing and coughing and feeling pretty ill, but yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. I met loads of YouTubers, spent lots of money, picked up lots of stuff. Basically on Friday, when I drove up to replay, got up at 7 o'clock, picked my mate up Dan, aka the suit guy, which a few people called him the suit guy. Where's the suit guy? And we drove up from Cornwall, drove up to Manchester, and we stopped stopped in a few retro game shops on the way, because we couldn't check into the hotel until 3 o'clock. So we thought we may as well go to some game shops. I had some games I had to trade in. I didn't get as much as I thought I would. But yeah, so these are the games I traded in. I drove to Exmouth first. That took like probably about an hour, hour and a half to get to Exmouth. Exmouth is in South Devon, and this is what I got. I got Fighting Vipers, Silver, Spirit of Speed, 1937, Vanishing Point, I think it's Vanishing Point, yep. Alone in the Dark, A New Nightmare, Robo Warrior for the Super Nintendo, or no, Nintendo, and Phantasy Star for the Master System. I had about 50 games and I wanted like 90 quid for them. And I took them in. They were pretty, to be honest, they were pretty beaten up. They were all cases cracked. They were PS1 games, Mega Drive games, which I just picked up for 50p or quid at car boots. And I wanted sort of like £90 for them. And the guy literally, he's got no stock anyway. I've basically taken all the good stock from him. He's only really got trash. And this is basically out of about 1,000 games. These are the only ones I needed. So first of all, he offered me just £25 for them. I'm like, you're having a laugh, mate. You know, I wanted like 90 quid. And he goes, I could, you know, let's do a deal. And then we're just literally discussing a deal for about half an hour, And then he came along with like a box of figurines he had for sale. He goes, oh, you can take these box of figurines, I'll give you £25. And when I actually looked at the figurines, they were like Spawn like figurines. He had like £10.99. He had like 10 of them. I'm like, why are you giving me £100 worth of figurines that obviously you can't sell, and £25? So literally just, in the end, he was doing my head in. So I just walked around his shop, picked up these and said, this is what I want to swap with them. You know, do you want to do a deal or not? And we were just umming and ahhing for about 20 minutes, and he said, yep. So this is what I got. Because I said, obviously, obviously you didn't pay £6.99 for Alone in the Dark. You probably paid 50p or £1. So you know how much you've actually spent on them. And I'm giving you quite a lot of stock. I'm giving you 50 items and only taking, you know, 7. So this is what I picked up. Fantasy Star. All complete. It's got the little poster. Sorry if I randomly sneeze. I'm not feeling that well. I'm not quite sure if this if it's like the other Fantasy Stars where they have like a little medal thing in it. So hopefully, yeah. Robo Warrior. I did have Jackie Chan. He had some Jackie Chan game, and that was $14.99, but that had no manual. So I'd rather pick this one up for $7.99 with the manual. Yeah. So I think we got to Exmouth about 9:30. It took an hour from Exeter to Exmouth because the roads are so bad. It's like single track road. It was like around the school run, and it just took us forever to get there. So we didn't leave Exmouth until about, I don't know, about 11. And I wanted to be gone by like 10 o'clock. Okay, so that's Exmouth done. Next, I drove up to Bridgewater. That's about another hour, hour and a half. I literally just did 70 miles an hour plus 15 all the way up there. And I went to there's 3 retro shops and collectible shops in Bridgewater. I knew of 2. And I went into, where did I go first? Oh yeah, Entertainment Zone. There's a guy in there. He's really knowledgeable on his games, and he sells them pretty high prices. But this is what I got from him. NHL Hockey 94, Sylvester and Tweet, James Bond 3, Hydra. So if I can come out a bit. Nope. Sorry. Ground Zero Texas, Lost World, So when I actually turned up, I texted him saying was he open, and he's told me the opening times, and then when I got there, it wasn't him or his wife, it was some other random woman looking after the shop. And I thought, yeah, brilliant, I could literally maybe get away with games a bit cheaper. So literally, I picked up all these games here, and I just did, literally, like, just did a pile and said, they're all $4.99, and she believed me, so I got these all originally for $4.99, but then I got a bit of a discount, because I picked up these magazines. I said, you got any magazines? Because I picked up some Amiga magazines from ages ago. And she did these for £1 each. So I got Games Master, PlayStation Official magazine. What the hell? Some random surfing magazine, I didn't even know it was there. No PlayStation magazine. Super Play. N64. N64 Solutions. Ah, I literally just picked these up and didn't really look at them, to be honest, because they're for £1. I wanted to get in there and out before you pick off in case of the game. Turok Caesar Evil, the official strategy guide. I didn't know that was there. Mega Tips. PlayStation magazine. I don't know what number that is. PlayStation 2. Hitman. I need to pick up maybe the demos. I always see PS2 demos all the time. I always leave them. Now I wish I got them. Another official PlayStation 1 magazine. It looks like Tekken. And PlayStation World, Metal Gear Solid 3. Yeah, so I got these all for £1 each. Because she literally did not... She goes, we've been really quiet the last week. And I'm like, I'll give you £1 for them. But the best deal from the shop... There's all this lot. Okay, I got Worms for the Game Boy. Best of Karate. Goal. Ice Climber. Lethal Weapon. Castlevania. Bomberman. F1 Race. But it's in some kind of sealed. Let's do it. Donkey Kong. Game & Watch Gallery. Free. Sequest DSV. Mario and Yoshi. Donkey Kong Country. Championship Pool. Super Mario Brothers. And Mortal Kombat. He had all the prices on the back. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he had like $9.99, £10, £9. They're all £10 each. Which one did I pick up that didn't have? I might have picked up this one and said. She goes, oh, how much does it say in the back? And I said £3, which it clearly doesn't. And she goes, okay. I go, would you do, some more Game Boy games for £3 because they're all the same price. Because she knew Mario games, but she didn't really know about any of the other games. And she goes, oh, if Mario's £3, the rest of them must be £3. So I got all these for £3. So I literally just picked them all up, put them in a pile with the rest of it. And I was like, yeah, gave her the money and just like left the shop as soon as possible. So I got like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, I got like 16. And the magazines. I think I spent must be about 70, 80 quid in there. Yeah, plus the games over there, which I got like for £4 each. She knocked like another tenner off. So I think it was about £75 I paid for them. No, good, must be about 10 magazines. All these Game Boy games for £3 each. And some Mega Drive games that I desperately needed to go towards my collection. So if you're watching, mate, and you're from Bridgewater, sorry. Oh, picked up so much. I'm wearing shorts, by the way. I'm not like half naked. Okay, I went around the corner to Insane Games. I had a boxed PlayStation 2 to trade in, and an unboxed one. They were pretty battered, to be honest, but he took them in, and he only gave me like £18 for him. So basically I traded these games in for him. It was Alien Storm. I got Alien Storm on I think it's Mega Games 2. or Mega Games 3, and I needed that one. Hardcore 4x4, Destruction Derby, Actual Soccer Club Edition, Sega World Soccer 98. I got 97. That's the one I always seem to miss. Fighting Vipers, and Area 51. So they're sort of a bit expensive for what they are. Some pointless titles in there, but you know, to fill the gaps in my collection, needed to pick them up. And when you pick up PlayStation 2s at car beats for like 4 or 5 quid, and a box one for 8 quid, and you literally trade them in for this amount of games, you don't really mind, to be honest. You just hassle posting them and selling them all. Oh, I'm gonna slowly run out of room. Okay, just round the corner from, I don't know, yeah, you go, I think it's, yeah, there's Insane Games, Entertainment Zone, and there was KBS Collectables. I didn't know that was there. So I went in the shop, and it was like Christmas. Oh, there's so much stuff in there, yeah, literally. Must have been 4, 5, 6,000 games, and 50 box consoles and stuff. So I literally just walked around the shop and picked up one I wanted, and he was basically being a knobhead and wouldn't give me any discount until he goes, "You haven't been here before." I'm like, "Mate, this is the first time I've been here. Didn't even know your shop existed." Because I think he wasn't happy, because obviously because I literally, yeah, I went in there after I spent money in the other 2 shops, and he saw me with my Game Boy games and all the Saturn games and stuff. And he goes, "Oh, where did you get them?" I'm like, "Oh, from the other 2 shops. I didn't know you were even here, mate." And he was like getting a bit pissed off because I didn't go to him first. But yeah, so after like going around the shop and saying, "Oh, you know, can I have a look at that box console? Can you get it down for me?" He's like, "Oh, I can't be bothered to get it down at the moment." I'm like, "What the hell?" I go, "What kind of person sells box consoles and stuff?" And he wouldn't bring them down. He wouldn't let me even, like, he had a Sega Master System, but it was the one that sort of, you got a Master System 2 and the gun, and it's in like a special pack. It's like the special Sega Master System, like, laser pack. And he wouldn't even get that down for me to let me even have a look at it. I'm like, "How much is it?" He goes, £40. I go, "I'll have that if you get it down. Let's have a look at it." And he just wouldn't get it down or anything. I'm just like, "You're weird, mate. Don't you want to sell your games?" And he goes, "I'm a collector too." I go, "What's the point of having a shop if you're a collector and then you don't want to sell any stuff?" So in the end, I gave up with buying any consoles from him, but I just walked around the shop and picked up loads of games that I needed from him. Luckily I had a list on my iPhone, and I picked up loads of games. So, and I didn't have any Wi-Fi connection or any 3G signal, so what I was picking up, I picked up what I need, but I wasn't sure if they were good prices or not. So let us know if I got them for a good price. So I picked up Missile Defense 3D. That was £15, all boxed and complete. I could have picked up another like 20 to 30 Master System games, but they all had like no manuals and stuff. But they were cheaper, so maybe I should have picked them up and stuff. But Wolfchild, boxed and complete. Laser Ghost. Manual's a bit battered. Boxed and complete. Can't wait to play that. World Soccer. I needed an extra copy to go in my collection. I got one that goes in like a box Master System with a sticker on front that says World Soccer. Aztec Adventure. This guy, he probably had about 100, 150 Sega Master System games, so if you're in Bridgewater, definitely go there. Sega Tennis Ace. Oh, the manual looks fucked. Damn it. Yeah. Maybe I should have checked that manual on that one. US Gold, oh, that's probably the maker. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, Hero of Lands. That looks well good. Running Battle. That's £3. Miss Pac-Man. £6. Alex the Kid in Shinobi. I think he had all the Alex the Kids, but I've only got on my list that said Alex the Kid, and I didn't know which one I had. So I left the other ones. There's a quite rare one, which is sort of like I think it's the built-in Alex the Kid that comes with the Master System, and that was boxed, but he had that one, but with no manual. I didn't pick it up, and then when I was like driving, I could have used my brain and thought, you know, I've got loads of manuals when you pick up Master Systems. So I want to go up there soon. Fire Forget 2. I don't know what this is all about. Looks like Outrun. Outrun with weapons. I love the way it says like rounds 5. That's really cool. Area assault. Dead angle. Looks like another shooting game. Yeah, so definitely be playing that. Mortal Kombat. He's all boxing complete. Also picked up Burning Force. That's £5. Boxing complete. Mystic Quest Legend. He had this in a cabinet along with this game, and he had this for 20 quid, which I got. Yeah, I got it for £20. And that one I just offered him tenner for, and he took that Equinox 2. What is it, Equinox? He had loads of other like Super Nintendo games in there, and I was like, oh, would you, let me buy this one for 8 quid, even though it said £10. I'm like, £8, and you wouldn't do us a deal at all. I picked this up for £1. Super Metroid Prime, or Super Metroid. Player's Guide, a bit battered. Asterix, £6. Bit battered, but I definitely know that goes for about £10 or so. Psychic Detective. I was bidding on one of these literally a couple of days before, yeah, last Wednesday, about a week ago. And my limit on it was like £10, but yeah, it was good to find that one. For some reason, it must be a replacement case because the manual doesn't actually fit in the box. For £1, music, one of the rental versions. I'm addicted to buying rental version copies. And I bit the bullet with this one, World Arms, for 20 quid. A Dreamcast mouse. I paid £10 for this, and I realised I could have got one from Console Passions a bit cheaper. But that's how it goes. Resident Evil pad. This was £10. This was like literally up in his ceiling. I'm like, mate, you gotta get that down. How much you want for it? He's like, 12 quid. I'm like, bring it down for a tenner. So that's what I did. More Saturn games. Crusade No Remorse. Sega Ages. The Find, I think, £10. X-Men Children of Atom. Digital Pinball. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. A Super Street Fighter Turbo Puzzle Fighter. I was like, that's what it looks like. Columns with Street Fighter characters. I think that was it from that guy. Yeah, I think it all came, all this lot. That over there. All came to about 240 quid. No. I'm trying to think, what did it come to? No, it came to about £200. And I'm like, come on mate, let's do us a deal. And he goes, I'll knock a fiver off. And I'm like, fucking, you're having a laugh, mate. How many people come in here, pick up £200 worth of games? You got a bank across the shop. At least give us some more off. And I got it for 185 in the end. He goes, if you come in more often. And he goes, well, what do you want me to do? Come and spend £200 every week? And you give me more than £10 off? So I was pretty happy with getting all that. I had a budget for like the weekend, and that was within my budget. Okay, so we left Bridgewater probably must be about 1 o'clock. Because I traded some stuff in. We were in Bridgewater for about an hour and a half. We got the Bristol. I wanted to get the Bristol by like 1, because I know how bad the M5 and M6 is. And we got to Bristol at 1:30, and we did not get to the hotel until 7:15. It took us literally 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours to get from Bristol to Manchester. The M5, the M6, it was just chaos, absolute chaos. I just don't understand where you're driving at 80 miles an hour, and then you would literally have to slam your brakes on, stop for 10 minutes, and then drive at 80 miles an hour again. And it was just a nightmare, absolute nightmare. It was doing my head in. So we stopped at the service station, got a Burger King, and the Burger King, in Cornwall, the Burger King's normally about, £6.80, or bloody the thingy bobby station, the service stations, they were like 8 quid, 8.50. I was like, you're having a laugh, mate. You're having a laugh. So yeah, wasn't happy about paying, you know, £2 or £3 extra. And I always think, why does everyone want to gamble every time they go in a service station? So that was another pointless thing I always find. Why does they always think that everyone wants to gamble? So we finally got to Manchester. Got there at like 7:15. Checked into the hotel. The hotel was a travel lodge, and it was half the size. I got a family. I always buy a family because it's the same price whether you get a family room or single or double. And it was half the size of Blackpool, so we weren't really happy about that. We went out to the local, Wetherspoons, which is just around the corner. Got a beer and watched the England game, which was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. While I'm talking, I want to show you my photo of my other good stuff. And while we're in the Wetherspoons, no, not Wetherspoons, yeah. Some random guy came in with like a snowboard. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is there? I know it's cold up north, but I didn't realise it was that bloody cold. And he came in with a snowboard, and we just looked at each other like, me and my mate, the suit guy, and we're like, what's going on with him? And we asked where the nearest bank was because I wanted some money for the next day. So we went out with the Wetherspoons. Basically, yeah, just turned left at the Wetherspoons and went to this place called Chill Factor. I'm like, Chill Factor? And it was just like an indoor sort of like mini shopping centre, and there was a bloody whole like ski slope, indoor ski slope. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just like it's just surreal. Everyone's walking around with their sort of like chav evening wear, and everyone's just walking around with like gloves, like it's bloody like they're in the Alps or something. So that was quite funny. Even in Nando's, everyone just like wearing all their like bloody snow gear. So that was quite random. Yeah, so I was texting a retro collector, like forum member, GUNSTARHERO, and we were going to meet him in the morning at like 9 o'clock outside, and he was going to drive us over because he had some games to take over, and he said it was free parking. So I thought, oh, I may as well drive over and take some games because I had a bag of games. But basically, I couldn't really trade in because they weren't that good. But I thought I'd give them to the retro collector stand. Yeah, so we got up about 8:30. Got to Playexpo. We got there about 9 o'clock, yeah, about 9 o'clock, and we're just in a queue of about 50 people, and we're just talking away you do, and I'm thinking, mate, why is there so many like young kids here? They all, obviously, and they're like, oh, they're probably coming for the Wii U, and then some big fat guy with glasses who would later had his belly out, just come along and goes, this queue's over here for Playexpo, this queue's over here for like EGL. I'm like, what's EGL? And the kids were like, European Gaming League. I'm like, what? And he goes, and when we walked into the Playexpo, there was literally only 3 of us, and then the rest of the 50 people just stayed in the European Gaming League. We're like, what's going on, man? And they were all obviously signing up, so we thought, oh, sod this. We may as well go into the Trafford Centre. So we walked over to the Trafford Centre. Oh man, never seen nothing like it, mate. That shopping centre was like more shops than the whole of Cornwall. Whole bloody Cornwall. Some random piano playing. I'm like, why is there a piano playing? Who's playing the piano? And realised it was an automatic piano. So yeah, so I went to the game. I thought, oh, let's go on a game, see if they got anything good. GUNSTARHERO, he was loving the DS games. And he pointed out 2 games to me that I should buy. And yeah, here they are. And here's Pandora's Tower. For some reason, it's got a sticker that says free artwork and sleeve with limited edition version. But that's why I thought it was limited edition, so I don't want to rip the sticker off in case it rips the front off. Cheers, game. And it's all sealed as well. So that was £23. And they had Last Story limited edition as well for £34.99. But when I went up to the kiosk, it came to about 50 quid, and I'm walking away, I was thinking, why is it 50 quid? And this one was like £25 or so. For some reason, they must have, I don't know, they must have put the wrong code on. They must have put the actual normal version, or it might be this one. I don't know, I lost the receipt. Yeah, so they must have put like the wrong code on the back, because this came to be about £27.99 or something. And I'm like, huh, that's very strange, but you know, can't pass that up. So my mate said, oh, let's go to Burger King. We walked through Chinatown. Oh, Chinatown was awesome, even though it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. But you're not a fan of Chinese, but I love the Chinese girls. I'm thinking, about this is pretty good at night. Anyway, we walked into some like, it was like an obese man's paradise. It was an obese man's paradise. There was like Subway, McDonald's, Harry Rams's, Burger King. So we got a Burger King, so we went back to Event C, Playexpo, and we got there at 10, and oh my Christ, I've never seen, it's like the biggest queue in the world. It went into like a horseshoe around the car park. And I'm thinking, holy Christ, but there's still the same queue up for them to get in to sign in for European Gaming League. I'm like, this queuing system is an absolute joke. Why is everyone queuing on the grass? And there was worms everywhere, where everyone was like stepping on the grass, which was funny. Because the worms thought it was raining. Yeah, so we literally were right at the end of the queue, and I was like pretty pissed off because look, 45 minutes earlier we were right at the front, and we're thinking when everyone goes in, everyone's just gonna rush to the door. Fuck this! And then the big fat guy came out again with the glasses and said, "European Gaming League in this queue. Everyone queue it. Yeah, this queue for people got tickets, and this queue for people who want to pay cash." And there's literally 4 or 5 people who want to pay cash. And we just ran across to the queue, because he sort of like moved the queue literally like right, like right one door, and everyone just ran and just started queuing up again. So we sort of like pushed in and just ignored everyone saying, "Oh, you're pushing in front of me." So we just ignored them. And as we were just in this queue thinking, this is bloody chaos. And yeah, look behind us, and Stu was there. Stu and John. So yeah, that was quite funny. I'm like, "Alright, mate." So yeah, big shout out to Stu and John. And they came along, they go, "Have you already been in?" I'm like, "Nah, mate, there's like European Gaming League." And they came out with these little blue tags saying, you know, "Welcome to Eurogamer" or something, or European Gaming League. And they got in, they signed up for the European Gaming League and stuff. But then they were told to get out because they had to queue up again to go in the Playexpo, which was a bit weird. So, so yeah, it was just, the queuing system was just absolutely crazy and just stupid. They were so funny. Normally when you meet sort of like random people from like the internet or web, Facebook, old friends and stuff, you're sort of like, oh, you're a bit like nervous and stuff, but it's sort of like, "Alright, mate," and they were like, "Ooh." So it was good seeing them queued up, and yeah, so they went straight in. Well, we sort of like got through the door, and then we had to wait like 20 minutes to queue up, and they were able, because they got the tags earlier, they were able to go straight in. And but everyone who didn't actually have a ticket were just in really fast, mate. It was a joke, absolute joke. Queued outside for about an hour. Didn't get in until about 11:45, it's supposed to start at 11. A bit unorganised, but yeah, when I got in there, I went straight to Console Passions, as you do, to go get some games, and this is what I picked up. To go with my boxed PS2 collection, I needed a Buzz version. Yeah, so I got Buzz, the music quiz. I keep on seeing this on eBay going for like 50, 60 quid, so but I had to get one, and this was like £40. So glad I picked that up. There is like another Buzz one, or SingStar version, which I need to get. Haven't tested it yet. Might want to test it. Also picked up, this is from both days actually, I'll just put it in a pile. I got a PlayStation one-handed controller. Never used it, I'll probably just keep it in this packet. Game Gear car adapter. Macon X, £8. Their prices were really good actually, I was quite surprised. Some of them were good, but they still had Final Fantasy 8 for 28 quid. I'm like, that's not worth £28. Spawn the Entity. I don't know whether they open these or not, because they're in their little cellophanes. Peak performance for PS1. But then you don't know if the bloody manual's in there. And he didn't really have much information at all. Kingsley Adventure? Does that say? Yeah, Kingsley's. I don't know how to pronounce that. Iron and Blood, the dark side of 3D fighting. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. That looks really good. But it's probably going to be another robots. At least with these guys you can sort of barter with them as well. Mega Power Super Wide Gear. I think that's just a battery, just like a battery power pack thing that goes in the back. And a magnifying glass. A 4-way adapter for the Mega Drive, been looking for one of these ages. And I got that to go with my NHL 94. As you can see, there's NHL 94. So that was a good link up with the games. Forgotten Worlds. £6. Bonkers. £9. Yogi Bear, £7 cartoon papers. And literally the last thing I purchased on Saturday was a Game Boy Advance plus Super Mario World. And all it was the outer cover. I got loads of these, but I just wanted the outer cover. And the outer cover was a bit damaged. So he did have that at a high price. So yeah, there's a receipt. So he gave me £10 off. Well, yeah, £45 for the PS2. I thought it was cheaper than that. Yeah. So he gave me £10 off. And then I got the Game Boy. Gave me £12 off. And then the Game Gears stuff. It's 31 quid. Lucky I had Signal and sort of they were for better prices online and stuff. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. Also, there was some other random stand which was giving away games really cheap, and I picked up Zool, and that was £2. Zool for the Amiga. He did have Alien Breed 1 and 2, but I didn't have any money, so I had to run across the shopping mall to get some money out, but they were gone. And from the retro collector stand, I was trying to find them for ages. I literally couldn't find them for about 20 minutes. I'm like, gotta get them because they give away free games. So I got Final Zone for the Genesis, and that's all they had left. And a demo disc, PlayStation Sampler, Nightmare Creatures, Cushy, Rapid Racer, Parappa the Rapper, and Final Fantasy 9 or 8, 5, 6, 7. Final Fantasy 7. So that, yeah, so I'm glad to pick that up because I gave him loads of demos, and these I was thinking, oh, there's my demos because I donated some demos, loads of them, Demo 1, some more PlayStation samplers, demos that I picked up that I just don't, I've already got. And when I looked at my demos, that was there. Yeah, so Playexpo was really good. Compared to Blackpool, I'm not quite sure if it was better or there's more old machines there, which was really good. But I just didn't like the way I didn't even see any talks or anything. I remember Gremlin was supposed to be there, or Blood Brothers were supposed to be there. I didn't see any talks on them there at all. At Blackpool, there was a massive stage in the middle. As you just like walking past, they were like doing stuff, doing events and stuff. And yeah, this year it wasn't. It was just so out the way. And you had some cosplay in the corner, and then you had like the European Gaming League at the far end with the burger vans and stuff. And it was all, I don't know, I think it was just mishmash everywhere, you know? Loads of people were just like there, just playing all, obviously new release games. They didn't have that much at like Blackpool at all, so it's gone from being, you know, a retro collecting, sort of like old game style convention, and now it's just like it's called Playexpo. They just have their 4 regions, so I don't know what next year's going to be. It's probably going to be involved, I don't know. Probably going to be PC games, clothes, you know, you've got like loads of clothes stands there, and it's starting to get, I don't know. The reason it's the origins of it was, you know, replay games, Playexpo, now it's called, and you just want to play the old games, but now they seem to be getting more commercialised, you know. You had these people who had like the kind of like PlayStation fun sticks and Xbox fun sticks, selling them for like £10. It will improve your aim. I'm thinking, this is a joke, man. Get you having a laugh. Yeah, so I spoke to a few retro collectors and that, and people follow me on YouTube. So hi guys. So Sunday, basically got back to the because it opened later. It closed later, so it didn't close till about 8 or 9. So we got back to the hotel about 9 o'clock. Just had a couple of beers. Pretty shattered, to be honest. Pretty shattered playing all the games. I was going to go out and have a few beers, but just couldn't be bothered. So we just went to Wetherspoons, had a few more, you know, just a couple of beers. We'll get some food and then back to the hotel by like 10 o'clock. And I thought, oh, I saw on Facebook everyone going, gotta go car booting tomorrow, gotta go car booting. And I thought, so I thought I'd just type in my iPhone, Manchester car boots, as you do. And it came up with 4, which was pretty good. And one was like 8 minutes away, so I'm like, oh, do I go, do I not go? And the one that's 8 minutes away was literally on the other side of the Vent City. And that started at 6. So yeah, there was like Bowlers, Bowley, Great Norfolk, and Chelford. Chelford was just outside of town, or Manchester. And I remember when I was driving into Manchester, I saw another car boot, so I thought, oh, that's where they are. But yeah, so one of them was literally just an indoor car boot, and also outdoors, just a car park. Because it was so cold, got up in the morning at 5:30. Car was iced up to fuck, so I didn't have any de-icer at all. So I'm there like scraping off from my little scraper, broke my scraper, and then some random Arab woman came around. She scared the shit out of me. Can I help you? But she was actually the hotel attendant, and she got some de-icer out for me. I was like, chill, love. So I drove down the road, drove towards like you would Expo, Event City. Instead of turning left where it was, you carried on the road down the end, turn left, and then turn left again, and there was a car boot. Yeah, I literally just followed a car that had loads of stuff in the back, and I paid £2 to get in. And this is what I got. Basically, the first table I checked, it was all dark, so everyone's walking around. I didn't have my car boot clothes. I've always got these special car boot clothes that I always have. Where I have my pounds in my left back pocket, and jeans I can easily just put 50p's and stuff in. I normally got a torch. I don't have my torch or my coat or anything, or my hoodie, my woolly hat. I literally had nothing. But yeah, so I just basically got my mobile out and started shining onto the tables. And this is what I found. There was a box. I just literally saw like Streets of Rage 2. Picked it up, and yeah, picked it up, and then there's this American woman behind me, and she was like, "Oh, Mega Drive games." So this is what I got. I got a World Cup USA 98. These were 50p each. Sylvester and Tweet custom cover. Sonic 3. Super WrestleMania. And Streets Rage 2. Now, as these were in my hand, the woman's like, "Oh, you got a Mega Drive. Do you have the Mega Drive at all?" And I've got these games in my hand. I'm like, "Oh, the Mega Drive wasn't in the box." And the lady was like, "Oh, the Mega Drive's £5." So she got the Mega Drive out, and it had this game in it, actually in the Mega Drive, Dracula, which I desperately needed. But with the box of games, I had the bloody box, and I'm thinking, oh, and she goes, "Oh, I gotta have a game to go with my Mega Drive." She clearly was a collector. And I'm like, and I was like, "Oh, sorry," I go, "I was just asking about these Mega Drive games." And in the end, I just grabbed the Dracula out of the Mega Drive, put it in the box, and then gave her Sonic 1. I go, "Here you go, have Sonic. It's the most commonest game for you. Your kids will like it." And she goes, "Excuse me," and then I gave the woman the money, and I just like ran. I just like walked away. I'm like, "Oh, I need Dracula. I don't need any of these other games. I just need goddamn Dracula." I missed out on a few times at car boots. And she was like just talking to all the other, like, there must have been other collectors. "He's over there. He snatched the game out of my hands." I'm like, okay, you know, you interrupted my deal. I was about to buy that bloody Mega Drive, and you interrupted my fucking deal, you bitch. So yeah, so I sort of offended some people there. And I thought, yeah, I better leave. So I looked around, and it was pretty like rubbish, to be honest. There wasn't any other stuff. So I decided to drive off to Norfolk car boot, and that was just north of Manchester, and that took 15 minutes to get there, and it was rubbish. It had 3 tables, and that was it. And obviously there was no, it was like the back streets of Manchester. I thought I was going to get beaten up and stabbed. I was pretty scared, to be honest. A lot of the doors I'm driving through, and it was really misty. So because I drove 50 miles up, the other one was like 15 minutes up. The other car boot was like 18 minutes from where my hotel was. So it took me like half an hour, 35 minutes to get back to one of the southern car boots. So I drove down the motorway like an absolute maniac. And finally, yeah, just turned off and followed another car that had vegetables. There was some I was thinking, who's driving a bloody pickup truck at like 6:30, 7 in the morning with bloody vegetables in the back? He obviously was going to the car boot, and I followed him. And literally just turned off in the countryside. It was just on the nicest countryside you've ever seen. Better than Cornwall. It was just real random. Went through some little village and it had like a McLaren F1, like a little car salesman. So I just pulled up to some roundabout and just looked ahead. I'm like, "That's a McLaren F1 in the window." So I got out and took some photos of that randomly. Got back in my car because I had the destination on my iPhone. Followed it. It must be where the footballers were. And yeah, turned off to the car boot. pulled in. I could literally, I hate it when you drive past, you can actually drive past the tables as you're pulling in. You're like, oh, I just want to park my car literally up the hedge and just go and get all the stuff. And it was a pretty busy car boot. And I had to park at the far end. I'm like, great, I missed like probably, because I went to the other one, I thought, oh, I could have been here half an hour ago. That's what I wasted. And so I ran like a night, like a maniac. And obviously don't go in the first 2 hours because that's where all the traders are. There was only like 5 aisles, so I thought I'd go in, I think it was the 4th aisle. And you could tell there's some other collectors there, loads of other collectors. And I pulled up to one table and she brought out like a box. She pulled out like a shoebox of Game Boy games. And it had all the Pokemons. And she pulled out this as well. And some random guy literally hugged me and picked up all the Game Boy games. And I'm like, fucking hell, man, they're well bad up north. And literally just picked them, so I'm left with like the GameCube. I'm like, mate, that's not very nice, you know, I'm looking at that. And he just basically ignored me. And I'm just like, fucking hell, it's well bad up here, innit? And yeah, I picked up the GameCube. All I saw was just the box and the controller and Rebel Assault. But when I opened it, it had more games, had Rebel Assault 2, or Squadron 3, sorry. Sonic Adventure Battle, Driven, and it had that, and I was like, yes! I said that, I'm like, yes, Pokemon XD! And the guy looked at me and gave me the biggest evils ever. He was so pissed off. Because obviously you find Pokemon, like the Pokemon games quite all the time now. And also Pokemon Colosseum. And this one's got the Pokemon box in as well. And he was just thinking, you just look at it, we were just like staring at each other and you can just see, like, we were thinking, if I was 10 seconds earlier, I could have got both boxes, and you can tell we were both like... But then he was quite friendly at the end of the car boot when I walked around, and... So I started walking around again, and there wasn't really much, like, everything was gone. There's people walking around, N64, some guy called JP was walking around with an N64, I'm like, oh, where'd you get that from, mate, any good? He goes, oh, I just picked it up from over there, you a collector? Because he goes, you're new, you're a collector. I'm like, oh, from Cornwall. And they all were like, you're from Cornwall? You drove all the way up here? I'm like, nah, I'm just up here for the weekend. I'll go car booting it. And he was a really nice chap, actually, speaking to him like that. He was a really nice chap. And as cars were just pulling up, literally, they wouldn't even, people would get out the car and everyone else would just help themselves to the boot, and there'd be like 20 people. Literally, I've never seen it so bad. 20 people just digging in the back. Do you have any gold? Do you have any train sets? Do you have any computer games? Do you have any men's shoes? Do you have any baby's clothes? Oh my god, it was just like, oh, mate, it was just so bad. It's like bloody in Africa somewhere where they suddenly bring out some rice and everyone's like just fighting. I've never seen it so bad. I was well intimidated. I'm like, whoa, this is too crazy for me. So I just went back to aisle like 3 and 4 and thought, oh, sod this is just crazy. And I picked up handheld Pac-Man. Or no, Namcon. I think it's Pac-Man. Yep. And then it's sort of quieting down a bit, and then some more cars getting in, and I thought, sod this, if I don't get in there and get these bloody games, I'm never going to do it. So, as a little chav, I opened a woman's door who clearly had this on the front seat, and I was like, oh, how much do you want for this? And people always think that these are bloody ice bags, but it's just a Game Boy. Got the back to it, and I got it for £3. She said £5. Got it for £3. And the same car missed out on a box Spectrum, ZX Spectrum for £7. This is what she was like 80 years old or something. She had like a Game Boy, ZX Spectrum, PS1 games. I'm like, what the fuck? You're 80 years old. And I also, did I get these? No, I got. Also, I was like walking around talking to JP, and when one of the cars pulled up, he asked if they had any computer games, and they got like a N64 out. And he was like, I've already got loads of N64s. He picked up a box one, so he didn't really need any more N64s. So I got an N64 for £15, yellow controller. Shame about the bloody, I don't know, the bloody memory expansion pack. But it came with some good games that I needed. Duke Nukem 0 Hour, which I didn't know they made. Worms Armageddon. Mario Kart 64. Diddy Kong Racing, FIFA 98, Super Mario 64, GoldenEye, and Perfect Dark. So yeah, cheers JP. Also, we were sort of like talking, and we sort of like got good friends just at the car boot and that, and he was saying he's a collector and I was a collector and that, and I think he could have easily picked these up and sold them on, but he was just a good lad. He goes, oh, you may as well have that, I've got all those games. I think I only needed Worms Armageddon. I need an extra copy of Diddy Kong Racing for my game at night. So that's what I picked up from there. So next time, I've got to get there a bit earlier. And as I was driving back to the hotel, this must have been about 8:30, I text my mate, the suit guy, Dan, saying, oh, you know, I'll be there at 9, we'll go down to Playexpo. And as I was literally driving into town, I remember I was thinking, oh, there's a car boot, where was the sign? And I finally found it, and yeah, pulled over, paid £1 to get in, or was it £2? I think it was £2. And I picked up Vanishing Point, Sega GT, Fighting Force 2, I just need them for the cases, Wipeout, the Wipeout 3, Wipeout 3 and the Destruction Derby. I've got this, but I'm missing the manual, so it was good to pick that up. X-Files, and Dance Stage Euromix for a friend at work. She misses her dancing stages. So I picked them up, I think they were like £1 or 50p each, can't remember to be honest. So that was good, yeah. So I drove back into town, had a shower, checked out the hotel, and me and Dan went to Playexpo Day 2. After like the first day, you're just so knackered, so we didn't really stay that long. We got there, I think we left about 2, half 2 actually. We sort of played all the games we wanted to and met the people we sort of wanted to. A few other YouTubers and that. Went to see his gran who lives in North Manchester, so I saw the turn into the car boot. So we drove there, I think it was like Junction, I don't know, Junction 27 or something. It was like the scabbiest place in the world. I was well scared. Once again, lock the door, as you do. Gotta lock the door as you're driving through. So the gran, she was lovely. And then just drove home. It took us 5-6 hours to drive home. I did 70 miles an hour plus 15 all the way home. So that's basically all my pickups, really. Yeah, brilliant weekend. Great result of the holidays, Mike Skinner would say. I definitely want to go to more of these around the country. I'll be definitely going to Geek 2013, and if anyone else has little retro events and that, just want to meet up, or just for any of you YouTubers just want to meet up, definitely meet up for a few beers. Without any of these little chavs playing all the European Gaming League and stuff, and have a good chat and good swap of games. Oh, I had one item which I picked up, yeah, from a friend at work. Because he knows I love computer games. And he said he had Mega Games. He goes, oh, I've got some Mega Games. I'm like, for fuck's sake, Mega Games. And he goes, I've got a red Mega Games. And I'm like, oh, please let it be, please let it be. But the thing is, he was meeting, I saw him outside, he goes, oh, he had like a bag of like bloody Atari Jaguar games. He had about 50 Atari Jaguar games. He was selling some guy for £3. He was like, I got 50 games. So I was thinking, I'm sure they didn't release 50. I'm sure it was about 32. And he had some more games. It goes like he was meeting my car boot rival in the area, another retro game collector who we just don't get on. And I just saw this one game they had, and I had to get back to work. They're like, you have to come back to work now. I'm like, for fuck's sake. And I literally ran to the bank. I go, I'll give you £10 for that Mega Drive game in your hand. And I picked this up. Mega Games 6, Volume 3. I'm like, I'll give you £10 for that game. He was going to sell it to this other guy for £3. I was like, I gotta have that game. So I was 5 minutes late to work. I got a disciplinary. You were late back to work, so I got disciplinary. I'm thinking, I'll take a disciplinary to get this game. But I thought it would come with 6 individual manuals. That's the only one I've seen. I've never seen the one with, yeah, basically one manual with all 6 games on. So if anyone's got any information, it's in really good condition. For once a cart is in good condition, normally you find these, they're like faded, they're really badly faded. So that was a good £10. So I thought I'd gazump my my car boot rival. I didn't have time to go get the other Atari Jaguar games. I said I'll give you, I'll give you £50 for the games you got. And he goes, yeah, I'll meet you outside later on. But then when I got up there, he wasn't there. I said, I'll meet you in half an hour. He just wasn't there. Yeah, so pretty good to pick that up. It's funny, you travel all those miles, and the game you probably the game you really wanted was like that at the beginning of the weekend, and you find it just like just with someone who you work with, who was me and your can't beat rival. Yeah, so cheers. Yeah, thanks for following. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, obviously YouTube, but Facebook. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I go on a website, a page on Facebook called Game Trader. They're really good for games swapping and buying. So yeah, cheers. Holla back.